Alright, my captains, so as you can see, we have an interview with the writers who wrote the Herrescher of Sentience Fuhua backstory. So we will take a look at it and we will see what they are talking about her. And I would actually like it if they do that every time they add a Herrescher or an S-rank Valkyrie. It would be really awesome to see how the developers or the writers think actually about the Valkyrie and how they thought about the process of the story and everything that we can't see that is behind the scene. That would be absolutely magnificent actually. Anyways, without any further ado, the first thing that they are saying is the 8th Herrescher of Sentience has officially debuted in the latest story. To help captains learn more of her, AI-chan has specially interviewed the writer team to bring you this scope. So basically she is going to ask them questions and they will answer it. As always, she always help us with this type of things. Thank you very much, AI-chan. It's appreciated. Anyways, the first question is, greetings to our writers. Could you recap the birth of Herrescher of Sentience for our players, and why does she have Fuhua's memories? And the answer is, by the way, this question is very amazing actually and very good one. The answer is, Otto shot Fuhua right in the head in the Battle of Styxel. We could see actually this moment in the Shattered Samsara video where Kiana relived actually Fuhua's memories. So that was the moment where Otto shot actually Fuhua in the head. However, with no better choice, Fuhua transferred her sentience to a Fing Huang Down's feather, leaving her body empty. So basically her body doesn't have any soul in it right now, and there is nothing that is controlling the body. It's just like a dead body. And this feather might be actually the feather that Kiana used to save herself actually from Herrescher of Sentience attacks during the Shattered Samsara video. Anyways, this body of a mantis was healthy, strong and highly adaptable to Honkai energy. Remember, the body is empty. There is no soul in it, yet it was actually healthy, strong and highly adaptable to Honkai energy. That's how great Fuhua's body is. Okay, the will of Honkai naturally wanted to take it for itself. Of course, it's without a soul, and it's still healthy, strong, and highly adaptable to Honkai energy. Like, hello, they will obviously take it. So it injected a new sentience into her body, which was the Herrescher of Sentience. So basically, as you can see, Herrescher of Sentience is something, and Fuhua is something else. They don't have any relation, and there is zero relation between them actually. So basically, it's not Herrescher of Sentience Fuhua, it's Fuhua and Herrescher of Sentience. So basically, it's wrong when we call her actually Herrescher of Sentience Fuhua, but since she took over Fuhua's body, she is still Herrescher of Sentience Fuhua. It's crazy, but it's really nice actually to see them doing some new stuff. So anyways, but the wheel of Honkai didn't know that tens of thousands of years of memories had been stored in her brain. Oh my god. Tens of thousands of years, okay? Poor Herrescher. Think about entering someone's mind and then all of a sudden you remember things that has happened actually for tens of thousands of years. You're gonna be overloaded, man. You're gonna be overloaded. Seriously. Anyways, the Sea of Memories obviously it's ocean actually, not sea, of memories deluged the mind of the newborn Herrescher persona, making the Herrescher of Sentience mistake herself for Fuhua when she awakened. Okay, so that's why she thinks herself actually Fuhua, and that's why she is acting like if she is the real Fuhua. She isn't acting actually. I don't know what the word would be, but whatever. She is completely convinced that she is actually Fuhua. You can see that during the chapter 22 that we are actually doing that we are having right now on the global server. In the first part alone, you can see her actually asking for Kiana as well, which one is the real Fuhua. Would she actually rather have her as Fuhua or have Phoenix as Fuhua? So you can see directly that she is actually completely convinced that she is actually Fuhua. So you can understand that the memories that have been stored in Fuhua's mind were too much for the Harsher actually to take, and that's why she was overloaded, as I said actually. She was overloaded and she didn't know who she is actually. She thought herself Fuhua. Anyways, the second question is, the Herrescher of Sentience is completely unlike Fuhua in personality. Why did you design her this way? That is a good question as well, actually. AI-chan is the best in asking questions. And the answer is, there was a lot of back and forth from the idea to the execution of Herrescher of Sentience. Her image was originally a stereotypical fallen Fuhua. I wonder if they are actually talking about the Dark Fuhua, as we are calling her. It might be actually, because they are saying fallen Fuhua, so maybe. Which fits with the tone of the story but not the character. I would actually agree on that. She wasn't actually completely okay as a Harsher. She was a good S-rank Valkyrie, but not a Harsher actually, and especially not a crazy Harsher like that. So it was actually better to change her, in my opinion as well. Anyways, Fuhua has spent her long life fighting the Honkai, which is the purpose of her existence. Turning her into an Harsher, it would have been a Harsher, but anyways, would be unacceptable. So we made the exception of turning an Harsher into Fuhua. Okay, so they didn't actually turn Fuhua into a Harsher, they turned a Harsher into Fuhua. As we talked about actually in the previous part of the interview, the Harsher is turning into Fuhua because she was actually overloaded by Fuhua's memory, and she thought herself Fuhua. It's not the opposite, where actually Fuhua lost her mind and turned into a Harsher. So that's what they are saying here. And it is nice actually to see them trying some new things, but it's crazy. It's completely crazy. Like, think about something is a Harsher is turning into a normal Valkyrie instead of a normal Valkyrie turning into a Harsher. Like, come on, man. This is just absolutely crazy, but it's really awesome, to be honest. It's awesome. To prevent our players from misunderstanding our intention before the big reveal, we used the entire chapter 20 to go over the story of her life. So yes, they did that actually. They went with Kiana and Bronia through all of her memories, remembering nearly everything that happened with her. Not everything, because that would have taken actually many more chapters. So they summarized what happened with her actually, and it was really awesome. So that's why so we know now why they actually did go through her story or her backstory before they actually revealed the Harsher. That's really awesome. Fuhua lived a life riddled with rue, forbearance, and partings. It's a very ugly life actually. It's never been a happy one. No, it's not. This makes us want to see her happy in a what-if scenario where those things never befall her. Okay. The Herrescher of Sentience we see in the story is a newborn sentience and an observer of Fuhua's life, which crude yet realistic reasoning. With crude yet realistic reasoning, she become she became an idealized Fuhua in extreme circumstances. We hope Herrescher of Sentience and Fuhua are the polar opposites of each other. So they are actually hoping that they would be the polar opposites. So basically completely different from each other. She resembles some of our expectations and imaginations for Fuhua, which boils down to a question asked to Kiana but answered by players. Who do you like better? Okay, I just talked actually about this question. So they are actually referring to the question where you actually play the Act 1, Chapter 22, where Fuhua, the Herrescher Fuhua, or the Herrescher of Sentience, ask you actually which one do you prefer better? Do you want actually Phoenix Fuhua or Herrescher Fuhua? And basically you have the choice to choose between them. I never tried actually to choose Herrescher Fuhua. It would be really interesting to choose her and see what would happen. But if you choose actually Phoenix Fuhua, she just get crazy because you choose actually Phoenix instead of her. And we say that she actually think herself that she is actually Fuhua, and that's why she just go crazy and she turn into the Herrescher. Anyways, if it would have been actually not for this story, if it would have been to choose between the two Valkyries, I think that the answer is very, very obvious, right? Who is better? Like, both actually, Phoenix and this one are really awesome. Like, I can't even talk about them. They are just amazing. But man, there is no comparison between them. Herrescher of Sentience is just a completely on completely different level actually. Seriously, she is just insanely amazing. So if they ask me who do you like better, well, it's Herrescher of Sentience. But Phoenix is really awesome as well. Please don't be sad, Phoenix. Please don't cry. You are amazing too. Anyways, the third question is, how will things play out between Herrescher of Sentience and Fuhua? Will Fuhua take back her body one day? What course will Herrescher of Sentience follow afterwards? I feel like after this question that they aren't actually taking in mind that we have already watched actually Shattered Samsara. It seems like something like that. So they are talking actually like if we haven't already watched it and we don't know what will happen after the chapter, but we are waiting actually to see what will happen after Act 2 from chapter 22. So basically it's just a little bit crazy because they actually did put the video even on the global version of the game, so it's a little bit crazy to be honest, but whatever. For those who didn't watch actually the Shattered Samsara video, this is actually for you. This isn't for us because we know already what will happen actually after chapter 22 ends. But I am not going to say anything about it. Just in case you didn't actually watch the video. In case you did, you know what happened. So there is no reason for me to say it. And in case you didn't watch it, I don't want to spoil it actually for you. Anyways, the answer is Fuhua is currently heavily disadvantaged as she can only survive on the Honkai energy given to her by Herrescher of Sentience. So basically, Fuhua can't actually live without the Herrescher of Sentience giving her the energy. Kiana and Bronia, on the other hand, need to take down Herrescher of Sentience without harming Fuhua. So basically, if they take down Herrescher of Sentience, there will not be actually any resource for the energy for Fuhua to survive. So basically, she will die. And obviously Kiana and Bronia doesn't want that to happen, so they are actually trying to figure out a way to take down actually Herrescher of Sentience without harming Fuhua. Whether they can find a way out of this predicament and reveal Herrescher of Sentience's motive for trapping them are left for captains to find out in the story. So you can see directly actually here they are saying that they aren't going to spoil the rest of the story, so they are, as I said, they are taking in their mind actually that we didn't watch actually the Shattered Samsara video, and we don't know what will happen. Well, most of us do know actually what will happen. But anyways, AI Chan's fourth question: to conclude this interview, please describe the Herrescher of Sentience in your eyes in one sentence. She is a child who yearns for approval and support. Well, you could actually agree with that, because she is just getting crazy to make actually Kiana want her as Fuhua instead of the real Fuhua. So you can see that she is actually crying for approval and support, and yeah, basically she is like a child when she does that. Anyways, there is nothing more actually about that. You can see that it is a really amazing story actually, to be honest, and it's really nice to see them trying some new things, like turning actually a Herrescher into a Valkyrie instead of turning a Valkyrie into a Herrescher. That's really cool, to be honest, although it is just crazy when it comes to mind actually and who is controlling who. But it's a cool idea. So anyways, let me know your opinion actually about the story and about their thoughts actually in the comments section below. And with that being said, that was everything for today. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends so that they can enjoy it too. And if you got any useful information from this video, or if you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe my channel and turn on the notification bell beside it so that you stay notified with everything you know about Honkai Impact 3rd. And with that being said, see you as always in the next video of Honkai Impact.